Okay, we're good. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks? I think, right, yeah, because I was really busy last weekend because I just had an exam this past week and I probably bombed it, to be fair, but who cares about that? We're playing Ace Attorney now. And, oh, let me switch over to live chat. Sorry I'm a bit late. I had to reset my whole, I had to reset my entire Streamlabs because for some reason the latest subscriber thing refuses to update unless I do a full restart of Streamlabs, which requires me to reconfigure my video and my thing, and it's a fucking pain in the ass because YouTube is fucking retarded with how it handles its notification API. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, I'm struggling to remember exactly what happened last time, so let's just get into it and we'll go through the court record and try to figure out what we're doing here. All right. Emma Steam can stop playing. Yeah, let's get right into it. Good to be back. And we will probably be playing Persona 4 tomorrow. We're gonna be heading into the Izanami fight, I assume. And then after the Izanami fight, oh right, yes, on Monday I'm gonna be finally I'm done editing my reaction to Testament's theme from Guilty Gear, so that will be up on Monday. So yeah, probably around like noon. All right, let's check the court record to try to remember where we're at. Stole away keys in the heart, right? They stole away Darius's key-shaped heart ring. Heart-shaped key ring. Pleasure, but a fleeting melody arises around me now through the air I fly, because I remember flew through the air during the performance. Burning on in my heart, fire burn my love away. The guitar, catch you on fire. Like a bottle of love, take my life away. Latouche getting killed by a bullet. Guitar, up together to the sky. Right, and then the guitar, Latouche, and Machi, you know, being lifted up into the sky by the platform. So, right, so the murder was committed according to these lyrics. Don't know how that helps us. The postcard. Another retrieved from Gaviner's dressing room. Lemur's own publicity postcard. Touch the check button for details. Investigation request concerning the crime to be restricted parties. Right. Muzzle. Right, the revolver that was used firing, it's a big iron, but, I'm not sure. Yeah, the circumstances of the death are, I think, the main interest to me, because I don't think he was killed when we think he was killed. I think it was earlier, and he just took a while to bleed out, since he was shot in the shoulder, not in any vital location. Roach, proving Lemur was in the dressing room. Mixing board, played in separate tracks. Actually, was she wearing this brooch during the performance? I need to check the video. I didn't even think to do that. I may have done that. Mixing board, right. Daryl's guitar stops playing at one point. The key ring. Autopsy report. Again. Blood loss due to a bullet wound. Time elapsed between shooting and death currently under review. So we don't know. So it's definitely going to be earlier than that. Crime photo. Yeah, shot in the shoulder. Wrote down his own fucking number. Ram meaning... Yeah, he most likely couldn't have been shot here. This bullet... Oh, no. He definitely could have been. Okay. Actually, no. So... if we assume Latouche fell down, and his, you know, right where he was standing, his feet should be able to tell us where he was standing. So if we take him and then we just stand him up so that he's standing directly over his feet, his left shoulder where he got shot would be right around here. Now, for this bullet, it would have need to pass through here. I don't think that works. Hold on, do I have a ruler or something that I can use here? Do I? No, but I suppose a pen will do. I just need to work this. I just need to work out this line. So if I draw a line, right? So if I hold my pen with one end at the where the bullet landed and the other end where the yeah, it doesn't match. Yeah, so for this bullet to have gone past this wall and hit there, it would have need to have been shot somewhere below this line, right? You should be able to see my mouse cursor, right? Yeah. So this line that I'm drawing from here to here, the shot must have taken place either here or somewhere down here. It could not have taken place anywhere above this line. Which means if the dude was standing here and the bullet went through his shoulder, it should not be able to reach this spot in the wall. Which makes me think that possibly this bullet was shot at a different time. Now, if this is the bullet that killed him, then that one does work out, right? If we draw the line, it's able to go to the shoulder pretty easily. So, I think there are two possibilities. Either this wall wasn't actually here at the time of the murder, because I believe it was one of those walls that could be pulled in and out, so that's a possibility. Or, this is the bullet that killed Latouche, and this bullet, which up until now we've believed that one bullet that, you know, the killer missed Latouche, leading to one of the bullet holes, and then he shot him the second time, and that's the one that actually nailed him. The problem with that is that, again, if the killer had been standing behind Latouche, this bullet should theoretically be impossible, which leads me to think this bullet didn't actually miss, it was deliberate. The killer shot Latouche, leading to the first bullet, down here, and then after having killed Latouche, he fires a second bullet into the wall, to make it look like either someone had missed, or to draw our attention. If Latouche is... no, but then why not just kill Latouche at that moment? That's the question. Hey, Chadokami, how's it going? We're trying to geometry this. What this tells me, pretty much for certain, is that, either Latouche was standing somewhere else when he was shot, and the killer moved him over here, or this bullet was deliberately fired into the wall after Latouche was already killed. Whether that was to draw me and Emma into the room, or whether it was to make it seem like the person who had fired the gun was an inexperienced gun user, right? Like, I think, yeah, because I suppose it's theoretically possible that, right, okay, let's go off the assumption that Darren, is it Darren or Daryl? I always get it wrong. Which one is it? Darian. I was wrong both ways. Cool. So, okay, let's go off of the assumption that Darian did it, since most of the circumstantial evidence, heavily circumstantial evidence, seems to be pointing towards him, right? Darian is a trained police officer, and he's a pretty big man. He should have no, this is still Turnabout Serenade, the one during the concert. So, Darian is a trained police officer, and he's a pretty big dude. meaning that he should be able to fire the revolver steadily despite the fact that it is a heavy gun, and he should be able to fire it accurately since he is a trained firearms user as a cop. So why would he miss? But if he's trying to frame Machi, who is on one hand inexperienced and, you know, on one hand inexperienced, on the other hand, Darien believed at the time that Machi was blind, right? So, blind, and a small child who would have trouble holding a gun that big still, it makes logical sense to believe that Machi would have missed one of his shots before landing the second one. So by firing a second bullet after the crime was committed and making it look like the killer had missed, that puts the blame onto someone who is small and inexperienced with firearms like Machi, and takes it away from someone like Darien, who should theoretically not have missed. So that is definitely a possibility that does point towards Darien, in my opinion. Yu-Gi-Oh! Your window blew up? What? It's a diagram. Yes, okay, so I want to check the videotape, but first, the headset. Right, 30-foot range. Remote trigger. Triggers an igniter with a 30 feet. Right, that was the one that was used to light. The thing is, 30 feet is from the dressing room to the stage. It's just about 30 feet. So it is theoretically possible for someone to have lit Darien's guitar on fire from the dressing room. Except that Darien wasn't... I mean, not Darien, Gavin. Except that Gavin... It just flew away? What the fuck? But yeah, Gavin wasn't on the stage. He was up on a platform far, far above the stage, which was roughly the same in height as this platform. If Darien is standing up here, then 30 meters is roughly here, I believe, if I remember from last time, which means the dressing room, he could not have, the person who triggered the fire in his guitar could not have been in the dressing room. They must have been on the stage. And we know for a fact that Machi was on the stage, and I believe the drummer and someone else were also on the stage, but I need to check. Also, the drummer's not a character, so it's probably not them. What am I eating? Oh, no, I already ate. I ate some, I ate a burger and some fries. Now I'm just drinking water. The Gavin's guitar right, which was burned, and there's nothing for us to see here, right? Yeah, no, there was an incendiary device inside the guitar, but we already recovered that. Yeah, so this is what Latouche was tracking down, which Machi was smuggling out of the country. So Latouche was essentially trying to track down Machi, which in turn just gives him much more reason to commit the crime. But it's also possible that the person who Machi was going to be selling the cocoon to is the actual killer. So that begs the question, who was Machi going to sell the cocoon to? We don't know. The igniter that was used to light up Gavin, again, nothing much, although looking at these components, yeah. I mean, these seem like pretty run-of-the-mill components that you should be able to get, basically at just a regular hardware store. I plan on playing the older Persona titles, by the way, 1 and 2. Yes, yeah, I am. I'm gonna be, well, so the current plan for the Persona series is I'm gonna finish 4. After I finish 4, me and Bryce are gonna be playing the arena games, since they continue the story of 4 and 3. After the arena games, I'll be playing Persona 5. after Persona 5, then I'll go back and play Personas 1 and 2, and after that we'll be doing, like, the Persona Q stuff, since I want to do that too. Good newspapers. It doesn't mention the lyric. Right, so... we need... so... if Machi somehow knows the lyric that, the murder occurred due to, according to the lyrics, that means he can speak English, because the only time that was discussed is during the courtroom, and this doesn't discuss that, meaning that anyone who, supposedly only knows Virginian, which I believe the only person here is Machi, should theoretically have no idea that the lyrics of the, that the lyrics played a part in the murder. Well, I suppose, the only way you would know that is if you had been at the court yesterday and spoke English, or you had committed the crime yourself. But that's that with that. I have to say, Darian is looking a bit suspicious with that, that second bullet, right? That second bullet is mighty suspicious because it, the only use I can think for it would be to throw the, blame onto someone who was supposedly bad at using firearms, to deflect it from someone who is known to be good at using. Valent, I'm also, I suppose I was suspicious of Valent because I'm pretty sure he, like, robbed a bank in the past, so I thought Latouche may have been investigating him. But now that we know that Latouche was investigating Machi, I don't really have a reason to suspect Valent. Although, you know, his ability for magic would certainly come in handy in making the crime seem like it took place at a different time than it actually did. But, yeah, I really don't have much information on what's going on here. I do want to just check the video to see if Lammermoor still has the brooch on her at this point in time, right? Yup, she does. Get a closer look. Hold up. Let's watch through the whole thing. Sugar, sugar. Right, and she has the brooch right here. At the beginning of the song, she has the brooch. I swear, if that brooch disappears halfway through this song, I'm gonna go insane. Machi on the piano, likely with the ignition switch on him. You can see the drummer in the darkness behind that drums. So the drummer is definitely there. Pleasure. Leading melody. The guitar catching on fire. So yeah, she still has the brooch right now. So I want to pay attention to when the when she's revealed on the other platform, because I have an idea if that brooch is gone. Right? Hold on. Her hair's in the way. I can't get a close look at it. No, I... Oh! It's not there! Oh! It's not there! It's not there! It's not there! Hold on, hold on, hold on. Look at this close-up. Look at this close-up. I can't exactly... But yeah, that the brooch should stick up from her clothes. We should not be able to see the hem... We should not be able to see the line of her shirt without seeing the brooch. And yet here, wait for the close-up, wait for the close-up. It's not there. It's not there. Look down here, look down here, look down here. It's not. That isn't. I think we've cracked this case, and I think Lammermoor is the killer. After all, the only reason we're suspecting Darian, is from Lammerer's testimony? Alright, let's reconstruct the crime using the forum diagram. So, during her song, Lammerer is standing up here with her brooch, right? Then she does some sort of magic trick and ends up here without her brooch. It was very hard to see, but for like a frame in that video, we were able to see a Korean man whose name I don't know how to pronounce. How's it going? Can you give me a rundown on what just happened? Yeah, sure. Since you just missed it, I'll just go back quickly. So, remember how we found this brooch at the scene of the crime, right? So this brooch was dropped at some point during the scene of the crime. Now, this video was taken, right before the murder. Supposedly. The murder supposedly took place after this video, right? So if we look here, she has the brooch on, right? You can see how it sticks up above the line of her shirt, right? Or dress. My name's not Jackson. Well, I'm not gonna give you a recap on the whole case, just like and there it's gone. It's gone. The brooch is gone. So, during this song, Lammerer was standing up here somewhere with the brooch on. My name is Joaquin. Then she ended up here by the end of the song without the brooch. The brooch was later discovered in dressing room, I think it's dressing room 1. I think that's the location of the murder, right? Which makes me think, which means during that song, right? My only guess would be that the trick involves her coming down through the tower, then through the floor here, through some kind of passageway up here, to then do the magic trick. I mean, that is the only possibility, right? So that means she must have passed through here at one point. Now, the timing is extremely tight, and I'm actually going to go time that myself real quick. But I suppose it's theoretically possible, while she was coming through here, she went into the dressing room, shot... What's his face? Shot Latouche, and then... After shooting Latouche, she dropped her brooch and immediately resumed her position. So how much time did she actually have? So I'm going to look away from the... I'm not going to be looking at chat for a little bit because I need my stopwatch on my phone to actually properly time this. How much time do we have from her disappearance to her reappearance? Because if this is actually this might actually be the most like millisecond perfect murder in existence, okay? So we're gonna time this, okay? So from the moment we stop being able to see her to the moment we can see her again, all right? So start. Going down, going down, going down, going across, going across, going across. Shooting Latouche. Getting back into the secret passageway, going up the tower, going up the tower, going up the tower. She's now in position. Oh my god, this is a lot longer than I expected. 21 seconds, or I mean, I was a bit slow on that last one, so probably just under 21 seconds. So let's just round that to 20, right? 20 seconds to make it from there to there and kill Latouce. It seems very little, but why am I gonna ban him? What's he done? Why would I ban him? Hey, Firewall. We just had a big revelation. So, all right, let me think about this. So let me try to run through this crime in my head. Let me try to you know, visualize everything happening at once and see how long it should theoretically take. So, first, all right. So going off of the assumption, Lammermoor killed Latouce during her performance, right? So Gavin does the magic trick. As the magic trick happens, she goes into a trapdoor in the tower. Time starts. She climbs down the tower, climbs down the tower, climbs down the tower, climbs down the tower, climbs down the tower. Roughly 5 seconds. I think that's a good enough time to get down here. Then she's going over here. Drop down, shoot Latouce, then get back into the air vent. Takes a little bit. Then go up here. Climb, and then just as the thing happens, she comes out of the trapdoor, catches her cloak, and the magic trick is complete. She would need to be sprinting like a motherfucker, but it is theoretically possible for all of that to happen in 20 seconds, right? I think because obviously magic tricks aren't built for millisecond precision at the end of the day, right? Because because the thing is, right? Especially when you have a performer like Lammermoor who is blind and not very accustomed to doing magic tricks, I don't believe that the magic trick would have been planned down to the millisecond, such that if Lammermoor had dilly-dallied for a couple of seconds here, she would have not have made it to her cue on time. I would imagine, you know, if this was actually prepared by a good magician, she had probably some good enough spare time to get up here. And during that spare time, she could have killed Latouce in the dressing room. But it's so tight. It's 20 seconds. That is incredibly tight. I don't think anyone would be able to do that, let alone a blind woman. Not to mention the fact that, but then how did her brooch go from her neck to the dressing room during those 20 seconds? She must have been in that dressing room during those 20 seconds. How it happened doesn't matter. How it happens doesn't matter. The fact is that it did happen. Because otherwise that brooch could not have ended up in that dressing room. And that shoots Lammermoor to the top of my suspect list. And she actually has a pretty clear motive, I would say. Yeah, I bombed an exam last week, so that's not great. But other than that, I've been doing pretty good. How about you? So, I just don't know. I suppose if Lammermoor knew that Latouce was investigating Machi and she wanted to protect Machi from, you know, from being executed by Borginian law, I suppose that would give her a sort of noble reason to try to kill Latouce to save Machi's life, mate. So she certainly has a motive, and the opportunity is flimsy, but the conclusive evidence is the brooch. So, yeah, I mean, the 2 bullet holes, the second one. So, okay, let me just summarize everything that I've been saying for these past 30 minutes, and then we'll get right into the case. So, 2 main suspects right now, Lammermoor and Darian. Evidence for Darian is the fact that This shot, if Lettuce had been standing over here, this shot should theoretically be impossible. It would have hit the wall. Meaning that this shot wasn't actually made by someone who missed their target and then shot a second time. The missed shot was done on purpose after the murder had been committed to make it seem like someone inexperienced with guns had committed the murder, to throw away blame from someone who would actually be experienced with guns, like Darian. So that's my evidence for Darian. My evidence from La Mirror is the fact that at the start of her performance, she is wearing her brooch. At the end of her performance, the brooch is gone. And later on, that brooch turns up at the murder scene, meaning that during her performance, during the time, you know, Gavin's guitar was catching on fire and shit, La Mirror went into that dressing room, which puts her right on the scene of the crime. So, yeah, Korean dude, I'm just, I would say you should probably tone it down, you know? I'm fine with some chaos in the chat, but, you know, too much is too much. Alright, let's get right into it. July 10th, 9:49 a.m., District Court, defendant lobby no introduced. And I've got a pretty, I've got some pretty solid, theories going on, which is good. More than I had last time. Well, this is it. It's the day it all goes down. And there was yesterday. This meeting's over. Sorry. Give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry. No go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Marion, wait. I never liked you. Either of you. Huh? Yeah, and that interaction does sort of make Darian seem a bit fishy. Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. I didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. I think I know why. I'm gonna bring down a little justice. Well, yeah, Machi was definitely selling the, selling to Darian, which definitely puts the, Darian as having a pretty big motive for that. So we'll have to see. Thanks, Firewall. What was that? I swear, it's gonna be like a prop gun or something. Or someone is legitimately just dead. He is heard but unseen. Who's talking? Valiant Gamurai! Using the door like an average muggle, no less. Right, Apollo is a Harry Potter fan, I guess. Okay, Korean dude, calm it down. This is your last warning. This is getting out of hand. If you keep doing this, I will time you out, and then if you continue doing that, I will ban you. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valiant?
A preposterous proposition! How can I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking! I might even have to sign autographs! That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day!
Oh, with vanishing magic?
Indeed, I will jump upon the express train and the express myself to the next town over! But before I go, a word of warning.
Warning? What?
A grand Gamurai glamour resides at the roots of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth.
Glamour?
A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell!
That case extremely suspicious. Why are you making me doubt Valet now? Why is he skipping town during a murder case? Alright. Korean dude, you are getting a 5-minute timeout. How's that sound? Take 5 minutes to chill out, reflect on your actions, and if not, I will give you the life sentence. And there he goes. Sure does seem happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. I mean, you can. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually, it involves cutting up things, like people, or the Eiffel Tower, anything really. So, it was talking about what we saw at the concert. The Murderous Disappearing Act. Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar? I wonder what he meant by it, being at the root of all that had happened. Well, it's about time. We go?
Excuse me, sir?
Yes?
Scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Huh? Something happened? This is a first. Are we just gonna ignore that gunshot that we heard earlier?
The judges request some urgent personal business.
Hey, I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas.
Apparently he's visiting the hospital.
The hospital?
I believe it was mentioned that Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition is considered...
Darian was trying to get the cocoon to save the judge's son's lives. That's why Darian wanted the cocoon, right? Or maybe it wasn't Darian, maybe it was Gavin, maybe it was the judge himself, but someone from the justice, from the police, or the court, or the Justice Department, they are the ones who were trying to smuggle in the cocoon. So, yeah. So, okay, sorry, that was, that finally clicked on my head for me, so that was kind of, shocking. Main suspect at the time, that is hard to say. There are a lot of good choices. The location of this bullet shot points to it being Darian, and Darian's behavior when we were trying to ask Machi about the, cocoon was very suspicious. So it's entirely possible that if Darian was the one, Darian's father? No. The judge's son is in the hospital, and it's entirely possible that Darian was trying to get the medicine for the judge's son, not Darian's son. Or Darian's father, I don't know. So yeah, and so I think it's entirely possible that Darian or someone else in the sort of justice system was the one trying to get the cocoon. They were the buyer that Machi was smuggling the cocoon for. And so Latouche was likely investigating them as well. That would give Darian, or whoever it, either Darian, whoever it is Darian is protecting by not letting us talk to Machi, whether that be himself, whether that be Gavin, whether that be the judge, Darian is protecting someone. And, that someone is the person who was buying this, and they have a very clear motive. Also, again, the bullet holes, this second bullet hole clearly points to it being someone who was very experienced with guns and who would not miss, because you could not have missed this shot. This shot must have been deliberate, right? And you're gone. That was fast. So, I'm seeing. Yeah, so the bullet holes at point towards Darian or Gavin, someone with gun training, and this whole thing about the judge's son clearly establishes the fact that they had a very strong motive. Lamarore, though, she has actually probably the strongest evidence against her because of the fact that the brooch disappeared halfway through her performance. Watching the videotape, you can see that at the start of the song, she had the brooch on her. When she does the magic trick and she disappears, 20 seconds later, when she reappears, the brooch is gone. And we know that that brooch ended up at the crime scene, right? Which means, no, he's banned forever. I don't mess around. So, I'm pretty lenient, but, you know, when it comes to time to put down the hammer, I'm gonna put down the hammer. So, yeah, the brooch is, the brooch very clearly places Lamarore at the scene of the crime sometime. And the video very clearly shows that that sometime is during her performance. Which is a very small window of time, but again, shooting someone doesn't exactly take too long. So, so yeah, I have to put Lamarore as probably my #1 suspect, just because there's just this piece of evidence is just so fucking telling. But Darian is definitely close seconds, and since Darian had the best motive, Lamarore had the best opportunity, but we will need to see. We need to get an updated autopsy report, because we need to figure out when exactly the shooting actually happened, since we don't know how long he took to bleed out. Anyone know how to clean coolers? Like, what do you mean coolers? Like a fridge? Why would you clean a fridge? Chief Justice's son? Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said he had to go visit him after the trial. There's an article about it in the newspaper. If you can read about it yourself. Alright, thank you. Incuritis. Yep. Knew it. It's the cocoon. Incuritis syndrome, first case in country. Disease strikes closer to home than ever. Incuritis? Where have I heard that before? I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Try not to lose the page of the funnies if you can. The fans on your computer? Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna, you just have to use, compressed air. It's the best thing you can do, especially on a console, since you can't exactly, you can't exactly take apart a console. Well, I mean, you can, but I would not advise. Also, consoles are loud. A console being loud isn't that the fan is dusty. No, that's literally just how consoles are. Like, consoles, I mean, it's the same thing with laptops. They get really hot, and their fans have to run overtime for that to work. Just makes them very loud, just because the fan is going all the time. All right, 10:30 a.m. Let's go.
My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say his name again?
Machi Tabaye, our suspect fortissimo.
Right. In this trial, in any case...
The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Hey, you're a poser, Gavin.
You're a fake and a fraud! Come over here! Ah!
Saw the flan being flour with the dry frost, air can before, and dry on the fan. Oh, were you using the air can too close to the fan? Well, yeah. Is something wrong, Your Honor?
No! Well, yes. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time.
Pancreatitis, wasn't it? That article said there was no known cure. Judge, let me say with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law.
Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday.
I asked Interpol about that number. IPXX314206. The agent registered under that number was Romain Latouche.
Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. You've been a great help.
Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out.
Alex Jones? Oh yeah, Alex Jones is 100% playing a character. You just, if you have not seen it, please, you have to see the video of Alex Jones with llamas in his studio. It is the greatest thing ever. Makes sense to clean it with dust catchers? What do you mean dust catchers? Wait, that voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it.
It was him.
That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. This was Sir Darian.
No way.
Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darian would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect?
I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings.
Darian Crescent is a member of my band, the Governors. He's also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Which means you should be taken off the case, because that's a conflict of interest! Yet after investigation, I found no cause to alter the case or file new charges. The police have investigated themselves and found no wrongdoing. Oh, wow! As if that never happened. Wow! Who would have thought? Cops protecting cops? You never could have guessed that one. I can imagine it.
You there, you, furry friend? Want to help me destroy the globalists?
So, yeah, the police department has investigated themselves and found no wrongdoing, Your Honor. We can proceed with the case. And your reason is? Aren't you aware, Her Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. His alibi might be impeccable, but your autopsy report sure as hell isn't, considering it's not even complete yet and we don't know the time of the murder.
An alibi?
Well, let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. Alright, a timeline would actually be quite helpful. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first... hold on, give me a second, I need to check the videotape. So, according to this, this is the guy. So we have a guy over here doing, I have no idea what the fuck he's playing. I suppose it could be bass guitar. It's just like a weird shape. It might just be at a weird angle. So we have the bass guitar player down here. It's very hard to see, but you can see his silhouette. Then you can also see earlier that the... Oh no, this, we definitely need an updated autopsy report because this current one is not complete. All right, show me the drummer, right? So right, the drummer is there. He's very easy to see. So we know that the drummer, Machi, and the bass player, and of course Gavin, are all on stage during this performance. The only person that isn't on stage and should be standing right here is Darian. Meaning that if the murder did take place during the second set as opposed to the third, because obviously we found the body during the third set, but it's possible for the murder to have taken place during the second set right here, which would actually explain a couple of things. First of all, it does away with Darian's alibi, right? Second of all, if the secret passageway that Lammermoor took was through the air vents, right? Since the air vents are very clearly marked for some reason in here. As she was going through here, if the murder takes place right now, right in this dressing room, as she's going through it, she would have heard Darian and Latouche arguing, and that's where she heard that. And then she went on and continued. And then I suppose it's possible that her brooch just fell off through the air vent into the dressing room. It is a possibility. It wasn't too far from the air vent that the brooch landed. It's a hard object. It could have certainly skipped around a little bit after it landed. So if Lammermoor had been going down here, and while she was passing through here, the murder was happening down here, which essentially makes sense since Darian is the only one that doesn't have an alibi for that time, it would explain why Lammermoor heard his voice, and it would explain that the murder took place, and it would explain Darian's alibi and what happened with Lammermoor's brooch. So I think this is actually just so I'm gonna have to say Darian is my number one suspect right now, just because he was the only person not on stage at what I believe was the actual time of the murder, which is the second set, not the third set like we believe. But yeah, let's continue. For the second set, our guests took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lammermoor, and Machi, along with the drummer and the bassist for a total of 5. Okay, so he confirmed what I had learned earlier. So yes, during the second set, Darian was not on stage. Which is kind of suspicious. Why did you have everyone on set for that minus your guitarist, right? But whatever. So that pretty handily puts, so if the murder did take place during the second set, right? That means Darian is the killer. Pretty straightforward. That haircut is hella sus. Yeah, it's fishy, alright. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Objection! Objection! Prosecutor Gavin, could you please present some evidence for that? It's like, well, yes, Apollo. Take a look at this autopsy report. As you can see, the time of death was very clearly 9 to 9:30 p.m., which was, of course, the time of the third set. Objection! Well, Mr. Gavin, I would like for you to take a look at this updated autopsy report! It will happen, and this time Apollo will be the one to get the last laugh. Lemuror and the defendant, Machitabae, had left the stage at that point. You know, maybe it is just fate for characters that wear dark red to use updated autopsy reports, truly proving that Apollo is actually Edgeworth's bastard child. Lemuror and the defendant, Machitabae, had left the stage at that point, and the Gaviners were already rocking. Objection! Your Honor, Prosecutor Gavin's argument is wrong because he's maidenless! What? Apollo, that is an unbased accusation! This is when the two shots rang out that's the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Skye, mind you. Speaker system. Moving along. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? I sure did. Furthermore, Lemuror herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. Right. And I know the exact time that she heard it, and it was while she was doing her little magic trick and your guitar was on fire. When she claims to have heard Mr. Latus and Detective Crescent talking.
But that's impossible! Detective Crescent was...
Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Which means it must have happened when he wasn't, ya dunce. And Apollo goes, oh, I assure you, Prosecutor Gavin, it's quite based. Edgeworth cheated on Phoenix and Phoenix cheated on Edgeworth? Well, no, because we actually learned that, what's her name? Trucy, fuck. Trucy is not Wright's biological daughter. He adopted her. Voila! A perfect alibi.
Does the defense have anything to add to this?
It's true. When we heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. Yeah, so then how did she hear the voice, you dunce? Of course, Gavin didn't sing in the song, right? I mean, if he sung, that might have explained why she heard his voice, but of course your fucking egomaniac ass would never let anyone else have vocals in a song.
It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darian Christian's alibi has been acknowledged.
Which means Lemuror was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true.
Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections...
Oh, Apollo, if he declares a verdict now... but Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lemuror might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, not yesterday in the detention center. So the true criminal is the mainless one, if that's the case? I'm sorry for you. About the case. What about the case? Wants to tell us about Mr. Latus's death?
This meeting's over, punks. Fucking bitches. Get the fuck out of here.
Darian? But she was trying to tell us something. I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath. Yep, call him to the stand. Let's go. Let's go. Touch up.
Very well. The court finds the defendant, what was his name?
Your Honor!
No, that wasn't it. It was, like, Marquis or Mr. Justice?
Your Honor, before you declare the verdict, I'd like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean. I do. The defense calls defendant Machitabae to the stand.
What? But he doesn't speak English.
Well, he was an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as, I love you and, where is the toilet? The defense would like to request Lemuror as the interpreter.
Lemuror? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant.
But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie?
This is most unusual.
Bravo, her forehead! Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lammeror lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of language should be enough for that.
Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal.
Finally, some progress. What oath witnesses are committing perjury left and right under the prosecution's advice, no less? Yeah, exactly. It's like the prosecutor Gavin going up to witnesses before the trial. All right, so let me explain to you how being a witness works in this court of law. You will lie as naturally as you breathe, okay? How does that sound? Very good, okay, great. Just wake up and choose to lie. Ooh, that's a cool joint sprite. I suppose this is the first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name, to begin with, if you would, Lammeror. Yes. He says Machitabaye, the defendant. It's an odd last name, but, you know, whatever.
This is certainly a first for this courtroom. No, not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular.
So far, so good.
Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would.
Huh? If I would what, Your Honor?
Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
What do I want him to testify about? I hadn't thought that far yet. Apollo! Aren't you gonna ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? How can I if I don't know what he was saying? Excuse me a moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lammeror.
Just now, Machi said there is something about which he wishes to testify. Machi wishes to testify about something. What could it be? I love you and where's the toilet are the only phrases you need to know to conquer the heart of a foreigner. Yeah.
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please. The suspense is killing me. What? What? Nandayo?
Well, Lammeror?
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
What? Damn! I guess we should have probably asked the witness to the defendant to testify earlier. Huh, can't believe I never thought of that.
Well, this is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it! This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then let's... And this is vital testimony. Lammeror, I mean Machi. Please testify to the court.
Very well. Proof of innocence. He says the word of Mr. Latus's death came after a great shock. As a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, that is, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. I don't even want to point out that contradiction. My man's has just incriminated himself. Oh, that's so amateur. That is so amateur. Jesus Christ. It happened literally word for word like I said. Word for fucking word. Jesus Christ. Word for word. Word for fucking... I literally called this at the beginning of today's stream. I was like, Machi is gonna claim to know that the murder happened due to the lyrics of the song, which he can't know because the newspapers in Virginia haven't reported on that fact. And the only way he could have known that is if he had been present at the court yesterday when we discussed it, but we discussed it in English, so he shouldn't have been able to understand. So either he speaks English or he knew what the Judge, what does witness mean? I didn't pass the bar exam.
I see. We wouldn't have understood the English lyrics of the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wonder what he meant by proof. Why, you'd only have to ask Lamaror to know the meaning of that song. Lamaror? Did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. Exactly. As my oft-repeated warning already flooded that forehead, Lamaror might be protecting the witness. You claim to be a lie detector, my dude, so where's the lie? Where's the lie? You said you could detect it.
Well, anyways, let us proceed with the cross-examination.
Honestly, I would expect Gavin to be the one to claim an objection to that one. Or I guess he's too stupid to do cross-examinations. He has to let me do it.
Mr. Justice, if you would.
Dude, look, you didn't slow down with logic. You don't want to accidentally solve the case before the game wants you to, right? No, I definitely do. That's what's so much fun about this. Yes, Your Honor. That's what I love about murder mysteries. It's why they're like my favorite genre of like fiction. Something's hidden in that testimony. I know it. Just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. Worked yesterday. It'll work today.
What?
No, I didn't want to. Fuck. All right, so I just want to press on everything first, just to get all the dialogue. Were Machi and Mr. Latouche close? Yes, after we had traveled around the world on tour together. Lamaror, this is Machi's cross-examination, not yours. But I know the answer. This is a court of law. Won't play by the book. I understand. Prosecutor Gavin's tough. He's really tough. Machi says he was very good friends with Mr. Latouche. Mr. Latouche was always a gentleman, never angry. We got along quite well. I never dreamed something like this would happen. Really happened to the lyrics of the song. Guitar Serenade, correct? Yes, the crime followed the lyrics of the song. The theft of the key ring, the burning guitar, and the bullet. This is why it could not have been me. I could not have done it, you mean... It is very simple. Machi could not have done all the things that happened that day, where all those things followed the song lyrics closely. Which is a fair defense, except that he shouldn't know that the lyrics were the cause of the crime. Wouldn't it be difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics? He did know what the song was about. Its mood, shall we say. This was enough to play by. I told him it was a song about a guitar and love. That is fucking worthless. It's not actually the guitar that's in love, strictly speaking. Oh, perhaps I misunderstood? No, not really. Yours is also a valid interpretation. Okay? No, it is my fault. I'm too used to singing in Virginian. It is much easier than trying to understand these English lyrics. Yay! I knew he was innocent. I believe he is too, Trucy. I do. What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something? Nothing's hidden in that testimony. It's the truth. I'll find it. Let's use the ring. I love how Lamaror, from the few of Machi's lip movements, recites 3 paragraphs of text. I mean, yeah, it's just it would be fucking inconvenient if we had to fucking just go through the entire fucking you know, if we had to look through the entire fucking you know, wait for him to speak the entire paragraph, you know? No. This is not the one that I actually want to look at. I want to look at... Truly follow the lyrics. Here we go. This is the one. This is the one. Killing. The one that should be, I didn't see anything. Plus, I'm pretty sure Lamaror's earlier tell was with her hands, wasn't it? At least during her testimony, so... In that case, let's actually try to look at her hands, since, I mean, I guess technically she is the one speaking, right? I'm not sure if I should be looking at Lamaror or at Machi. I'm really not sure. Let's see. No! These drugs sure are cocaine. No, Apollo is actually a descendant of the Uchiha clan. That is his, that is him awakening his Mangekyo Sharingan. Alright, well let's look at Machi. Nothing there. Not seeing anything from Lamaror. Knock. A fucking stone cold face. Jesus Christ. Really followed the lyrics of the song. Look at this one. Nothing here. I don't see anything of importance there. He could not have done it. Oh, no, I didn't mean to press. I meant to use the ring. If Machi knows English, it would make sense for him to develop a nervous tick, right? Yeah. So I do want to look at... I do want to... Because I think it might be something about the thing with... but I'm going to just check all of these. Nothing there. Anything from Lamaror on this one? No. Stone face still. Hey, it has to be the line about him speaking English, right? This little bitch, of course he knows English. Says what? What does he say? Nothing. Gotcha! Gotcha, you little slimy bitch! Ha ha! The slightest eye twitch. This motherfucker knows English! Look at that! Amaterasu! Machi? You can't fool my eyes. He fucking like removes his headband. It's the fucking Sharingan. Kakashi of the Sharingan. You glanced towards her the very moment Lammeror said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Oh, that's so cold! Oh my god! Jesus Christ, he's a savage!
Witness, did you just blink? Are you the killer?
Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't.
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Does he continue this charade? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name. For this language, that is all. What? Give me a break! Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance? Well, yeah, but... I am sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. Except that I have evidence that he does? Well, then explain this! How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? Yes. I don't think she's done her research on me. I'll have you know, during my first courtroom case, I got my own fucking boss convicted of murder! It is simple, so simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper. I'm like a prophet! Fucking Nostradamus! The newspaper? The Virginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know? They have already begun report on this case in our homeland. I was right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? I like to imagine the only thing Machi knows in English is, hello, your computer has virus? What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes are quite fierce all of a sudden. Also, actually, I never got to read this newspaper, right? Oh, no, it does. We don't get to hear anything else. Okay. Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. I have a Virginian newspaper, the Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there is a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? Oh, get him! That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics! What? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in the Virginian newspaper.
What does this mean?
I don't see how that is possible. I know. Must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes. Not possible. The subject of the lyrics is not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper. The police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less.
The witness will explain himself.
Machi says, he's gonna speak. Yeah.
Yes?
It is true, I read the newspaper. This is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Oh, he's playing hard to get, I see. Alright. You're gonna be a tough nut to crack? I'm gonna get my nutcracker. I remember. I remember. He says he heard of the lyrics from me. What?
Is it true, Lumberor?
Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself. And it looks like her forehead's been jumping to conclusions again.
It seems so, yes.
Oh no! I was onto something, I know it! I can't let that chance slip away. But like, why can't you though? Like, this proves that Machi isn't the killer. Why are you pressing this? Machi said, who is Candace?
This is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination?
Excuse me, Machi, do you listen to, Imagine Dragons? Yes, I do. Imagine dragging these nuts across your face! Ah! Objection! Develop a knife. Thank you. I try. I read and play a lot of murder mysteries, so I'd like to think it's a skill that I've developed over just playing a lot of it. And just me just being generally, good at reading people. What are you gonna do, Apollo? I'm gonna keep on cross-examining. I better have an angle of attack, or else. Bracelet's still reacting. Honor, please allow me to continue.
If you must, you must. Very well, witness.
I understand. It was I who explained the crime following the song. So now the one that's lying is Lammeror, correct? Yeah, I knew he was innocent. I believe he is too, Trucy. I do. What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something? Something's hidden in that testimony. It is the truth. Find it. Exactly how much did you explain to Machi? Then the judge jumps from his stand and stumbles a little. He rests on the witness stand and he says, "Well, guess we are."
Kid, he's nuts. In your mouth.
Oh fuck, my headphones fell off onto my keyboard. This is a question for me, yes? This interpretation thing is getting old fast. I told him that Mr. Latouche had been killed, and why he was a suspect. I told him the crimes of the day followed my song. Did you mention any particular words of the song related to the case, such as heart? Yes, of course I explained this. He was quite surprised. Yay, I knew he was innocent. Okay. Man, we've been almost going on for 2 hours now. Well, the headphones are probably paid actors. At this point, I'm starting to think they're a fucking CIA op. Their battery life has now been reduced to a fucking hour, which is now I'm on this fucking cable. What's the point of having wireless headphones if the fucking battery life... Now, to be fair, they are decently old, so they have just gotten really, you know... So the battery life has kind of died recently. Welcome back, Tedakami. His death comes a great shock. Alright, yeah, so it's time to proceed.
Sharingan!
She was not moving her mouth during that. Yep.
Gotcha!
that the body reveals her thoughts!
Jesus Christ, out of nowhere. And yours is telling me you were uncertain just now. Should I be interpreting this or not? Yes, of course! I must admit, I find it hard to interpret that, which makes no sense. Maybe you got it wrong, Apollo. Just thought. You might have a point there, Trucy. No need to interpret that after all, Lammeror. Oh, I'm sorry. I've already told him. Right, now even my client's laughing at me. Guess that was the wrong spot after all. Really? I could have sworn her mouth stopped moving. So nothing from him. Look at that! Look at those! Look! Song. Look at that! Her mouth is not moving! How is that not the right one? Worst part is your headphone battery's gonna get screwed over even more while you use them while charging. I mean, yeah, but I don't really have a fucking choice now, do I? Because they're already fucked. It's that it has to be! Gotcha! Oh, now! Okay, I guess I might have just mistimed it. Lammeror. I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why would you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed that very moment you told the court. It was I who explained. I see there's little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lammeror, you indeed protecting someone. That is not a question with a simple answer. Reveal our thoughts, Apollo, so are we maidenless after all? To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself. Then allow me to answer it for you. Lammeror, you're protecting. Lammeror, you're protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you would explain how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help. This is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it. Really, I trust you. But you've lied to us twice, and now you've Lammeror lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English, you have to! Oh, God! What was that? I love to think Apollo's 2 inches from the witness's face. Actually see behind the shades.
Witness! Is this true? Do you understand English?
Should I give him a really... Yeah, sure.
Yes, a little, only. What?
First he could see, now he can talk. And you did not know about this, Lammeror. No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
He really is a professional fucking spy, isn't he? Pretends to be blind, pretends... I mean, it is the perfect spy, isn't he? If you believe someone cannot understand what you're saying, he is the perfect eavesdropper. And if you believe that someone can't see, he is the perfect spy. Whew. Now I feel like the Alex Jones voice is a bit too close to the judge, but I'll try it. I'll try it during his next line, see how I like it. Yeah, no, he is the perfect spy. He really is.
This is last.
Machi, could you tell us what really happened?
No shooting! No shooting.
Nah, I'm not a fan of that. So, you weren't in the dressing room when I heard the 2 gunshots, correct? Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either.
I was in the dressing room. Behind desk. Manager. On floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there's voice.
Voice? Or voices? Was it you, Emma, Apollo? So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had already been shot. And then he came to the door.
Panel. High up. I take off. Run away. Run away.
So it was you who escaped through the air vent. The prosecution has held not long, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession? Well, no, he admitted that he was there after the murder took place. As a non-English speaker, I can confirm it is extremely funny to go, no English, I am just traveling. Just to mess with people a little. Your computer has virus. No, he clearly denied that he did it.
No shooting. Manager on floor. Oh, already on floor.
The victim had already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe. The defense understands the song lyric. The defendant understands the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter.
Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness?
Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait, no. Of course there is. What is this cocoon anyways? The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure. Cure? Mamachi, are you a smuggler?
Baba dubba dubba.
He won't tell me. Remember the Bubs and Vagine meme? Again? Yeah, that was really good. Send Bob and Vagine peek. Cocoon has to have something to do with this. Hachi, please, tell us the truth, for your own sake.
No more speak. Not to any of you.
So much for your precocious trust to her forehead. You were the one who doesn't believe him. Regardless, this brings us to an impasse.
Does seem the defense and the defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value shall this continue. I see no other course of action but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we may proceed.
July 10, 11:23 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Can you do an Armstrong impression? Let me think. Played college ball, you know. Could have gone pro if I hadn't joined the Navy. Actually, yeah, I'll just do the. What's a good nanomachines, son? They harden in response to physical trauma. I guess I'll try to do just the meme since that's like the most extended dialogue I can.
You millennial leftists who never lived one day under nuclear threat can now reflect upon your woke sky.
What are you trying to say?
No, like genuinely. What are you talking about, man? You spent all day trying to save the world from intercontinental ballistic tweets.
Do you even... Alright, no.
You made quite a non-binary fuss to save the world from intercontinental ballistic tweets.
Do you even know what non-binary means?
Hold on. I'm checking Twitter real quick. You got ratioed by the dictionary. How do you manage that, man? You're 50. Cancel culture strikes again. A translation machine, son. It hardens in response to Japanese.
July 10th, 11:23 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
Paulo Justice.
Eustace. That's justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Leave. I know shooting.
Machi claims Mr. Latouche was already down on the ground when he entered the room. Maybe it was a trap and he walked right into it?
Suddenly, I hear a revolver. Close. Very close. And I hear a voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, it's true. I hear a revolver, but only sound.
You're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Latouche already dead, and then you heard shots? It's like I said, it's the speaker in the dressing room was used to play the sound of the shots to make me and Emma go into the room later and find Mr. Latouche bleeding out and make us think that that's when the murder took place. It's the classic locked room mystery of the murder happened at a different time than we believe.
I'm gonna destroy Twitter! Once I become president, Twitter will be no more! Every man, woman, and child will be free to tweet as they see fit! Fuck the media! Fuck this 24 spew of trivia and celebrity bullshit!
He's the type of motherfucker to say he doesn't like K-pop and argue with 50 people at once and win.
K-pop sucks!
The K-pop is, I stand Jung-woo though, and he's so cool!
Ratio plus I don't care plus nanomachines plus I'm gonna be the fucking president plus making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't sweat over every tweet. Plus cancel culture strikes again.
Oh, I love Armstrong.
Cancel culture will be no more.
Found Mr. Latouche already. Yeah, right. That's true. So, you were at the scene of the crime and you heard these shots? And you escaped through the air vent?
I know.
Huh? What do you know?
I know. If I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. The vents are where Lamoureux traveled through during her performance, of course.
Played college ball, you know, plus memes, plus it hardens a response to your fucking bullshit, plus bozo.
Is that what he means? Hey, right! Look, Apollo! Huh? Ah! How did you know it was connected like that? Hey, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something!
I hear this from a magician.
Right! Like I said, the air vent is right where Lamoureux went through to, do her magic trick. So literally everything is unfolding exactly as I have predicted. Lamoureux, while traveling through the air vent, heard the murder take place. Darian is the killer, then took her position. Later on, when Machi came into the dressing room, Darien played made the playback sound to frame Machi and make it seem like he was the killer. Machi then escapes through the air vents and heads back out. But of course, Machi's not wearing gloves, while I believe Lammermoor is, so he leaves his fingerprints, she doesn't. Bing, bada, boom, me and Emma walk into the room. That kind of rhymed, some sick bars, and then, you know, it all lines up perfectly. It might also explain if Darien triggered the, like, remotely triggered the speaker to play. If he remotely triggered the speaker to play, then it would make sense why he messed up at the end of the song, because he would have had to take his hand off the guitar and stop strumming to actually hit the trigger, right? Metal Gear Rising. Metal Gear is definitely overwhelming. I would say you should either start with Rising just to get, like, into the world, or start with Solid 1. Trump is banned from 15 different social media platforms. Armstrong will be banned from all of them because he's just not afraid of cancel culture. Okay, so yeah, this basically confirms Darien is the killer, and I now know exactly how the crime went down. Basically play by play. The only thing I don't know is how Darien triggered the sound of the bullets. The only thing I could think of is either he triggered it manually, which would then explain why he messed up, or he had it trigger... No, he definitely triggered it manually. I suppose the question would be, how did he know that Machi had gone into the room? Or maybe he didn't plan for Machi to go into the room. That was just a happy little coincidence, and the reason why he shot the second bullet is to make it seem like Machi had been the killer, since he believed that Machi was dead, and so Machi would miss before actually shooting Latouche. So that's why he did the second shot, to, you know, work that out. Also, during the second set, I was in the audience and I don't know where Emma was, so it's entirely possible that we just didn't hear the gunshot. Making the mother of all cancellations here, Jack. Can't fret over every tweet. Magician? Don't look at me. Magician, huh? Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Latouche. Yeah. What does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went to the room and find a body, and then he heard the shots. I wonder, is Ben and Jerry's open yet? Because I'd like to go get an ice cream since we're at we have a trial recess. Wait, is this like a full trial recess, or is this like a mini one? Like, have we has it changed to being this is the trial ladder? Let me just check that. What's a good starting point, though? For Metal Gear, play the original. There is no original trilogy in Metal Gear. Considering, like, the original is a duology, which is Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. And then if we're talking about the Solid games, it's a quadrology with Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4 for that storyline. And then spin-offs would be 5, Peace Walker and Revengeance, and Portable Ops. So what I would say is try Metal Gear Solid 1 to start out with. If the gameplay is a little bit off-putting, I would say instead try Rising to just get into the world and the story. But aside from Rising, which is original trilogy, is what I call the games that didn't have gave me a brain aneurysm with the lore. So which ones would those be? 1, 3, and 4? Are you removing 2, the best Metal Gear Solid game from the trilogy? Because that's a bold claim. So yeah, I would say start with either Solid 1 or with Revengeance if you just can't get into the gameplay. Then after Solid 1, you're just gonna want to play the 5 mainline games in order. So Solid 1, Solid 2, Solid 3, Solid 4. Actually, no, you don't want to play Solid 5 after Solid 4. After Solid 4, you want to either play... Actually, no, after Solid 4, I would say play Revengeance or play, Peace Walker and then 5. Start with the Metal Gear Solid series, play them in order 1, 2, 3, 4, Peace Walker, then 5, huge Metal Gear. Yeah, that's a pretty good order. I would either place, the only maybe changes that I'd make is, Revengeance has to go in there somewhere. You could place Revengeance after 5. You could also place it after 4. I think it works well in either case. Just because Revengeance takes place after 4, so it seems like a good continuation. 4 was not more convoluted than 2, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would say you should slot in Revengeance either after 4 or at the end. The other possibility that I actually prefer, but I know a lot of fans aren't a fan of, Firewall, you'll have to give me your opinion on this, is 1, 2, 3, Peace Walker 5, then 4. So you play 1 and 2, then you go back to 3, then you play 3, Peace Walker, and 5 in chronological order, and then you end with 4, because 4 is easily the best ending point for the mainline series, right? 4 is meant to be the end of the series, not 5. 5 takes place as a prequel to Metal Gear, right? So I would actually personally play Peace Walker and 5 right after 3 before 4, and then after 4 you can play Metal Gear Rising. But yeah, although no. Okay, I'm gonna make a bold fucking claim here. Okay, I'm gonna make a bold fucking claim here. Do not play. You should not play 5 until you've played the original Metal Gear. Yeah, no, you should definitely not do... You should definitely play 1 and 2 before 3. That is undeniable. I just think... To truly understand the character... I just don't think... I just don't know if 3, Peace Walker, and 5 really work if you haven't met Big Boss in 1 and 2. Right? Which is why I legitimately... Like, the ending of Solid 5, the ending of Phantom Pain is literally Venom going to fight Solid Snake in Metal Gear 1, and you don't get that if you don't play Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. So it's tough, but I'd say yeah. I don't know, it's just, I think Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 are essential for the story of 3, Peace Walker, and 5, but they're also just not good games, you know? So, what is your take on this, Firewall? Let's see. We are still in Trial Former, interestingly enough. We're supposed to say he went to the room to find the body and then he heard the shots? That one's going to go over well in court. Not. Oh, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me. I'll just pretend you misheard him. Every time. So, what do we do? You sure you won't testify, Machi?
No talking. No.
Peace Walker's okay to be skipped? You've heard. It's not vital for the mainline story, but you need to play Peace Walker before 5. You cannot play 5 without Peace Walker. You literally can't. Anyone who tells you to skip Peace Walker is a fucking idiot. But I think you should definitely play the fourth game last, since that's the end of the series. Well, it was worth a shot. Cocoon. Well, no, I feel like... Metal Gear Solid. Okay, no, you're fucking... Okay, just stop listening to people. Stop listening. These people are idiots. No, you don't... No, Solid 4! Literally, the game that ends the main storyline, and you're... What? Are these people high? I can't go home. Can't go home? Think for any game series is to play them in order of release? Yeah, no, skip 4, that is some good kush. Can you ask, actually, can you do me a big favor, Shadokami? Can you ask that person who their weed dealer is and refer them to me? I just need to know. Because that is some good shit. I can't go home to Virginia. I do not want to go home. Penalty for taking a cocoon from Virginia is death. That's right, it's punishable by death. Worse, he's scared. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach. That's the spirit, Apollo. So, what's your plan? Unless you would testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify. Someone else? I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there. We gotta get Darian to testify. Right. Are the games hard to get or easy to get access to though? I believe if you have a PS4, I think 5 is on PS4. I think 3 and 4 are also on PS4. I'm not sure about 1 and 2, but you can definitely emulate 1 and 2 since they're on PS2, and PS2 emulation is really fucking easy. July 1, 11:28 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. But yeah, no, Firewall, what is your take on the original duology, Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, before the Solid? Because those ones are kind of important, otherwise Shadokami will literally have no idea who the fuck Big Boss is. 28 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Very well. So, will he testify?
Your Honor, defendant will not testify.
What?
Damn. Anyway, I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angle?
Machi won't testify, but I know who will. Does Snake Eater give a good enough idea of who Big Boss is? I mean, it gives an idea of who Big Boss... Well, Snake Eater gives a good idea on who Naked Snake is, but not Big Boss. Big Boss doesn't... Naked Snake doesn't start becoming Big Boss until Peace Walker and 5. Like, Big Boss being the original villain of the whole game is kind of important. It also kind of makes the whole Venom twist work. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Original release order, unless you just can't get into Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, because I do think story-wise, including Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 is very important. but they're also kind of shit, gameplay-wise, okay? So here, I'll actually write it out in the chat. For one, two, one, two. But Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, you can theoretically skip them if the gameplay is just too old for you, because those are old ass games. Their story is gonna be very important later on, but yeah. To be fair, Naked Snake does become Big Boss at the end of the game. He takes on the title of Big Boss, but he's not Big Boss. He's not the big boss that we meet in fucking at the end of 4. Like, the end of 4 isn't really gonna work without you knowing the true backstory of Big Boss. And, you know, Major Zero and stuff like that, you know? I'd like to cross-examine the witness in this case. Lamaror!
Lamaror?
What are you up to now? I was gonna drag Darien to the stand. I thought we determined yesterday that Lamaror's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can. Lamaror was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened?
She was assaulted, Your Honor. Oh, right, I completely forgot about that because that was 2 weeks ago. Right. Yeah, we basically agree on this order. I would say try playing Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 if you just can't get through the gameplay, which is... It's certainly hard to get into it, but I actually enjoy them after, like, learning how they work. Once you learn Metal Gears 1 and 2, you can, Well, I suppose I suppose... When it comes to gameplay order, I feel like it's really a question is who do you think is a better character? Solid Snake or Big Boss? If you think it's Solid Snake, you should end with 4. If you think it's Big Boss, you should end with 5. And well, to be fair, Big Boss is undeniably the better character, so yeah, end with 5. He was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lamaror dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself. What? I've heard no such report. Oh, we've got the updated assault report. Prosecutor Gavin, why would anyone be out to kill Lamaror? Can you think of a reason? Well, she did testify that she had heard Darien's voice. That little shit. Think of how she's known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? If someone tried to keep her mouth shut, who could have been? Who could that have been?
You don't think?
I do. It's the same person who shot Mr. Latouche. The killer was afraid of her. Afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out. No, you don't need to read shit about this online. Just do what we say. The people online are retarded. They told you to skip 4. You do not listen to those retards. So, am I to understand that this is what you are saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Lamaror's testimony. A nugget we have yet to uncover. Exactly.
Lamaror was attacked. This has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lammermoor's testimony once more.
We did discuss a little bit about Twin Snakes. I haven't played it, but from what I'm hearing, it's literally just... It's literally just the original Metal Gear, but with updated graphics and gameplay, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I completely forgot about Twin Snakes. I mean, yeah, Twin Snakes is definitely a viable choice. I don't know. Why do people say it's not good? Lammermoor, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent, and I will do all I can until the court realizes this. Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window, and that the voice belonged to Darien Crescent, right? That is correct. At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed, and was found to be quite soundproof.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
Apparently you can shoot people in first person mode? Yeah, like you could in, Yeah, you can do that in 3, right? Small story changes? Huh, I wonder. I also just like the name. I think the name The Twin Snakes is just so much better than just Metal Gear Solid 1. Which is why I will, you know, I call 1 Twin Snakes, even if I'm referring to the original game, because I just think it's a cool subtitle.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there. There is, it seems. Much you do not know.
And yet, it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be kind to us to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. After this testimony, I'm gonna get some water. I was on my way from the backstage exit. That's when I heard them. Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. It was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window. In a hurry, you... Could you have maybe been in a hurry because you were trying to reach a certain queue that you had to get to within maybe 20 seconds, I'd say, and maybe in your haste you dropped a brooch or something? Possibility. Plus, I mean, but why is she hiding the... Did she have to maybe sign a non-disclosure agreement for the magic trick, and that's why she's having to lie about it being going to the backstage exit when she was, you know, clearly doing the whole magic trick thing, right? Like, this didn't happen during the 3rd set. This happened during the 2nd set, but why is she hiding that? Maybe it might just be the... Tactical espionage action, I think that one just works better for Metal Gear 1, you know? Because that one was the original tactical espionage action, right? Or did that subtitle start with Metal Gear Solid 1? Plus, I feel like tactical espionage action doesn't really tell you anything about the story, which a good subtitle probably should, right? The Twin Snakes, Solid and Liquid, Sons of Liberty, Raiden, Snake Eater, Naked Snake, who eats snakes, and also Operation Snake Eater. is 4 Guns of Liberty, which also, you know, makes sense. Patriots. Then Peace Walker, obviously the Peace Walker gear. And the here, I'll look that up. Peace Walker, right? Then Phantom Pain, obviously. Venom's arm, and then Revengeance. Well, they made up that word, so whatever. Here, let me see. Tactical espionage. Tactical espionage action. Metal Gear. Metal Gear! Let's see. The original game. Let me check the cover. No, yeah, you are right. Metal Gear was just Metal Gear. Tactical espionage action was Solid 1. That is true. And then, right, it was Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. Okay, yeah. Rank the Metal Gear Solid. I'm not gonna rank Ground Zeroes. Ground Zeroes is literally just a prologue to 5. I'm gonna just say it's... I'm just gonna, you know... I mean, it is 5, right? 5 is split into Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, but they're both 5. Rank the Metal Gear Solid games. 2 is my number. Okay, I'm gonna go 2 Revengeance 5. 2 Revengeance 5. I actually haven't played Peace Walker, so I can't rank that one. I need to get around to it. I just haven't had time. 2 Revengeance 5. 1, 3, 4? I think I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I am sorry. I'm not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth.
Then it is my distinct pleasure to say this. What you have said have happened is impossible. MGS1 is basically Metal Gear 3, but Kojima made the right call to change the name in Metal Gear Solid when he brought it outside of Japan. Yeah, it just sounds cooler, you know? It does sound cooler. But, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to rank Metal Gear and Metal Gear 1, and Metal Gear 2. Yeah, no, those are at the very bottom. I'm not a fan of them. I think they're not good at all. Yeah, those are at the very bottom. Do I have to repeat myself? Mamoru was attacked because of this testimony. What, Trucy? Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you're pretty cool. Yeah, I do better when I don't try to think ahead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness.
Also, Firewall, could you find out how much longer we have in the trial former? If you could.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit.
I might try, because I might want to just, if this is the last day of the trial, then I might just go ahead and just finish it today, you know?
There's something wrong. There's some objection. But she's saying the same thing she said before.
Mr. Justice?
Sorry, it's nothing. Please continue with your testimony.
Now I know what they mean about reckless youth these days.
The one in red over there is a shining example, her judge.
You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar. Darian Crescend. I did not know his name at the time. I And yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday.
How many times do I need to remind you? That's impossible. There's no way you could have heard him. Because the window at the scene was...
Is the window at the scene was closed? Is that why?
Of course.
Apollo, if you keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
Maybe there's a different angle I can try. No need, we'll come back to it.
Second thought, maybe I'll just play it safe here. If I can calm me. See, I can be calm and collected too sometimes. Don't get too calm. You might grind to a halt.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
I liked you better before, with the...
Do I have to repeat myself?
So which should I be? Maybe I'm overthinking this whole thing. Sound sounded gunshot and stopped. I heard him.
There were 2 gunshots? Yes, I heard 2, one after the other. It fits with the bullet holes at the scene. Nothing really new here to pick up. Smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but... Why didn't you tell someone immediately? Well,
Because you had a song to finish!
If it were me, I would have gone to the police right away. It is our duty as citizens.
This may be besides the point, but Lamaror isn't a citizen. Though one would hope such common sense prevails in Virginia as well.
Lenore seemed awfully quiet all of a sudden.
Strange.
Should she be hiding something? Of course she is! They're all hiding something! Is it as you say? Yet, at the time, I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Hurry to do what?
You were in a hurry? To go where? I was on my way to the backstage exit, as I have said. Why were you in such a hurry then? Well, I don't think that has anything to do with this case.
It has everything to do with this case, you dumb bitch!
It very well might. Please answer the question.
Are you alright, Lamaror?
Yes, I am just tired.
Recall what I told you yesterday, her forehead? Lamaror suffers from serious amnesia. Please refrain from traumatizing her further.
What? So you just dismiss questions he thinks are too traumatizing?
Why don't you prove her reason and the connection to the case before asking about it, yeah?
The prosecution's objection is sustained. The current question is moot. Justice, please continue your cross-examination.
Lamaror was attacked because I know she was. Something's gotta be hidden here.
Solid 3, I absolutely loved. 1 was very solid for the old game. It was the only thing that confused me about. 2 was the ending and the fucking 20-minute cutscenes. Like 4 and 5 for the gameplay. Yeah. I don't know. I really like 2. I really like 2. I think the Virgin Raiden struggling against a single Metal Gear, the Virgin Cyborg Raiden, who can bench press buildings and has a sword that can cut cleanly across them, struggling across a single Metal Gear Ray versus the Chad Metal Gear Solid 2 Raiden fighting off fucking 30 Metal Gear Rays at the same time with nothing but a rocket launcher. That is Chad shit.
Maybe there's some detail we're missing. I guess we'll just have to get her to fill in the blanks, right?
Yeah, no, playing Metal Gear Solid 2 in hardest difficulty is a pain just because of that fight. Like, the rest of the game is pretty easy, even in hard difficulty, because it's just like, you gotta sneak, and you gotta do that. But then you get to that fight, and not only does it make the Metal Gear race harder, it makes it so that there's more of them. Alright. Oh, I'm exhausted. Yeah, okay. Hold on, let me check if Ben & Jerry's is open because I want some ice cream. Let's see. is the Ben and Jerry's. Nope, they don't have their opening time yet, because why would they? Right? Who needs that? They should be open by 6, so I'll probably head over at 6, maybe. Or whatever the trial former ends. Is that why? Of course. Okay. What were they talking about? Did you hear anything else? Let's see what they were talking about first. Lemuror, did you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. I have given it much reflection, but I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase? Remember something that was said? Why didn't you say anything yesterday? Well, my memory is clear. I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said. This could be it, the clue I've been waiting for. What did he say? It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche. Multiple rocket launchers destroy a single array. He ends up naked versus the Chad Revenge instead of... He looks the giant... Not a single ray! Like 30 rays at the same time! Shooter then. Darien Crescend?
Well, what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch. Now.
Trigger. Okay. Which, of course. The remote trigger, which of course lights the guitar on fire. Right, so this obviously happened when the guitar was lit on fire. Cool. This is the evidence we need.
Which? And the shooter said this to the victim. Mr. Latouche?
I thought I could change my Oh,
it's the earpiece. $30 right? 30 foot. 30 foot. Yeah, so, does that make Machi an accomplice? I mean, I don't know if he knew that he was participating in a murder, but he definitely helped out the murderer, right? But I mean, he didn't know that he was helping with a murder, but he knew he was helping with something nefarious, right? And what I was saying, he's definitely going to jail. I don't know for how long, though. Also, my chat is fucking... So, like I said, it is impossible to trigger the, It is impossible to trigger the guitar lighting on fire from backstage because the range of the remote is only 30 feet. And 30 feet on this stage, from this dressing room, 30 feet happens to get just about the stage, right? Or no, from this dressing, yeah, it gets roughly just the stage. But it certainly doesn't get anything up here. But someone over on the stage could trigger it. So we know that whoever triggered the fire was on the stage. Likely Machi, since he then disposed of it in the piano, which he was at the piano. But Darien wasn't speaking to Mr. Latouche. Darien was speaking to Machi, who was his accomplice. He was speaking to Machi through the earpiece and essentially saying, yo, okay, right now, hit the switch, light the guitar on fire. So from here, 30 feet reaches the thing, and then from here, Machi presses the button, 30 feet reaches the tower. It's essentially a relay system, so that Darien tells Machi to click the button, and then the button lights that one on, lights the guitar on fire. So Machi was definitely helping Darien, and that is what he said. It also essentially confirms that yes, the murder took place during the second set while Lemuror was traveling to the to the tower to make her grand appearance. And yeah, she had 20 seconds to make her cue, so of course she couldn't stop and go tell the police. And yeah, that essentially just proves Darien did it. When did this just solves everything. Incredible. Also, yeah, Machi is definitely an accomplice. Great. Yeah, that pretty much settles everything. I thought it was quite strange myself afterwards.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
I mean, sure, I'd be delighted. It's, very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony. Maybe, Apollo? Saw a window, I heard voices, press the switch. I just want to see what the other option does. So you remember a part of the conversation? Yes, the conversation between Mr. Latus and the detective. I remember it quite clearly. Oh, we can't check the other option. Okay, so this one was the right one. Guilty as charged, maidenless, bitchless.
No bitches?
Press the switch now. Yeah, okay. And it was Detective Darien Crescent's voice. Yes, I am sure of it.
It's over. Press the switch. Why would he say that to Mr. Latus?
Apollo, the murder weapon, the revolver was Mr. Latus's, right?
Yeah, what of it?
Well, maybe when he said press the switch, he really meant to say pull the trigger. Because his English isn't so good.
Darien Crescent is a native speaker.
Oh, right. Sorry, I kind of forgot who was what. Press the switch. It's not something a killer usually says to the victim, is it?
Was there no one else in the room?
I do not know. All I heard were Mr. Latus and the detective.
I'm gonna hear this piano. Let's hear this guitar when she's gone, right? Well, no. Let's hear this piano when the guitar turns and catches fire. I don't hear anything off from the piano.
I was wrong about you. You're not maidenless.
You're goddamn incel! Huh?
Okay, whatever. Hurry to go where? Hurry. Alright. Can we actually get anything for this? Are you alright, Lemuror?
Yes, I'm just tired.
No, okay. I think the issue was something's gotta be hidden there. So yeah. I guess we need to present the Switch, right? I mean, I need to save because it's been a while. But we might just get a flawless trial. That would be nice.
Objection!
Yep. Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh? If there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the lights. True, there wasn't a switch at the scene, but it just so happens I have a switch right here.
That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it?
Problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage.
The stage?
Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there. On the stage.
Are you claiming that the voice Lamaror heard was someone commanding another to press this switch?
There's a possibility.
Objection!
Oh, her forehead. I call that an impossibility. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of law of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far. Okay, so Lamaror's is number 2. It's quite far from Lamaror's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviners were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You can shout all you want and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. So too have her forehead's cries and possibility fallen far short of being heard. Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout. Excuse me. You heard what I said. Or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard from the stage, from the dressing room. Oh, wait. You like evidence, don't you? How about this? He didn't even let him say the present you evidence. Oh my god, Apollo is so cold. I love him. I just feel like,
Is the switch allowing you to skip all the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 2?
nah, the Metal Gear Solid 2 cutscenes are fantastic. All falling together. Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this? Why is that?
What is that? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
This is a type of transmitter, a communications device.
Communications device.
What I've heard that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, actually, they're for talking between band members. We all had one on. No bitches? So we admit that you were wearing one of these. Talking from backstage to the stage would be simple. True, but wait. I'll send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio system, the range is quite limited. Lamaror said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at the cross-section diagram of the concert forum. Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. The direct distance is less than 30 feet. That can't be.
So, Lamaror heard the shooter's voice. He could have been talking to someone on stage?
They're claiming this is the switch in question. Why did it have to be on the stage at that time? It could have been placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact. He's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard that voice? Because it's the only place where it could have triggered your fucking guitar, bozo. And the shooter said press the switch. Well, guess we don't.
An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it.
Sure this was the way to go with this. What is this switch anyways? We don't even know that basic fact. Wait a second. I do know what this switch is. If you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, It ends up in proof that completely changes this case! Alright, Apollo, it's taken you a little bit, but you figured it out. What's up, Apollo? Apollo? You know about this switch, right? We know what it is. Yeah. Think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share concerning the switch.
Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Justice?
I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
It seems that offense is set upon linking this switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what this switch is?
The igniter door. Prosecutor Kevin, you remember this? That's...
That what? Is there another one of those newfangled phones?
No, you don't want to hold this one close to your Honor. Slow down with the logic. Don't want Apollo to feel bad. This is an igniter. My phone looks like this.
Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter?
Yes, actually. You aren't saying this switch is a remote. I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you.
Mr. Justice, you will cease burning and desist. You will cease and desist from burning down the courtroom.
Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I expected. Judge be like,
Is that an iPhone 5? If my whiskers had caught on fire.
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. The switch is a remote trigger igniter. Doesn't that suggest something to you? You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Ah! Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught fire in the middle of your performance.
Wasn't that part of the stage show, though?
Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned, and the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. That's right, he got it in Virginia from Lamarore. He said that sound was amazing, before it burned, of course. Now it just kind of smokes. The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Her forehead. Yes? Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lamarore, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire. Why, yes, I am. Also, yes, I do. I'm gonna go get some water. Ugh. Paul loses the trial because he committed arson. Alright, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Yes, that is right, Firewall. As they say in Britain land, where they speak British. How's my guitar suddenly catching on fire? I am. It's really simple when you think about it. There's Latus and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught fire.
Well, that does seem to make sense. Though something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be putting my fingers all over that pretty soon. I drive a 96 Camry Kamek, gets a vasectomy, and James commits genocide because I scratched his car. And James commits arson. Not the Alfa Romeo. Let's scratch the. No, what was that limousine? It was half of an Alfa Romeo and half of a. What was the other half? I don't remember, but the wheel kept falling off. Really? It seems pretty simple to me. Our forehead. Don't destroy what little respect I have for you. Here he goes! Oh, Gavin, please play right into my hand. Play right into my trap. You've trapped me before in this very case, and now I'm trapping you. How about you give us the exact time and of the murder yourself? I was expecting something a little more sensible. Is the US, they speak American? Yes, of course. I guess I was wrong.
What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin?
This simple story simply makes no sense. Think, that night, my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this, indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set. Give them just enough rope to hang themselves. That's right, of course. The guitar caught fire during the Lumberer song. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. You those two are utterly unrelated.
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty.
See? The story makes no sense. Are you sure about that?
What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice?
Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far.
What premise is this specifically?
I'm glad you asked. I'm saying maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act. What's this? But Detective Sky heard the shots and found the body. All of this happened in the third act. Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Machi was in the dressing room at the time.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice?
Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us in his testimony, namely that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting. This is insane. Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames. We know that a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. You don't have to default dance on Gavin. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. What? That struck a chord.
Order, order, order! No puns in my courtroom!
Sorry, Judge, arrest me. I just couldn't resist. You know, puns are music to my ears. They really are.
But that goes against the evidence.
What does, Your Honor?
This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of the song, yes?
Hey, he's right, look. Bullet's supposed to come after the fire.
Yeah, that's to fool you idiots, and you all fell for it, of course. Thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh? Look, why would the shooter craft the events of that day to follow the lyrics anyways? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through. There's little merit for the person doing it,
Other than to establish a certain sequence of events.
Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason.
Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
Saying the order was reversed on purpose?
Reversed? Prosecutor Gavin.
If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flames, yet our forehead has raised another possibility. He's claimed that after the bullet came, not after, but just before the fire. Kevin, you have so few bitches, the pursuit theme started playing. It's telling you to pursue some bitches! Couldn't have put it better myself. You were only meant to think that the shooting came from the guitar burst into flames. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was a ruse. Why else would the killer risk this discovery by moving the body? That was the final blow that make us think he'd followed the lyrics the wrong way.
Yes.
Now you're catching on.
Order, order, order! That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of the song, but I question your logic. For it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction in her forehead, one I pointed out several times no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. Also, my name's not Jackson, but sure, I'm sure some dude named Jackson did figure it out too. How could Lemmer have heard the voice through it?
Oh.
I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Right. Lemmer's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice. What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
What? What the fuck? Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch? At any other crime scene, we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be a coincidence, so how do I make it work? Yeah, you has infected your mind. Evil cannot create anything. It can only corrupt that which good has made. J.R. or Tolkien. As the more direct line of questioning is required, the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime. That a window was closed. Care to tell us how Lemmer heard the voice?
A key point, to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Okay, Justice. Got one thing to prove and one thing only. Lamoureux heard a voice. She heard it during the second set. Hank, how's Lamoureux able to hear the voice? She was somewhere else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either, meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through the window.
Ah, it's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid he might be a Virginian, too.
That's just racist! As I was saying, Lamoureux could not hear the voice through the window.
Can we cancel Prosecutor Gavin and then just win the case?
So there can only be one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely.
What's this?
Right, she was going through the air vent. That's how she got to her. How she got to her location. And it's also how she dropped the brooch through the air vent into the room. Oh, you do amuse me so. And here I thought you and good sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and good sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret it for you, there, forehead? Lamoureux clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window. And there's only one small window at the scene.
Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene? There is?
Ah, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well. You claim Lamoureux heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was.
Lamoureux heard the voice from here.
Right. If the brooch dropped down from here, it could have very easily landed there.
This is where Lamoureux heard the voice from.
But that's no small window. That's the air vent.
Right on board game, I throw an anime board pillow at sea full of C4 in an anime convention. Dom single-handedly wipes cancers of the map, and Harak gets third-degree burns after confusing his car for his wife. Oh no, not the exhaust pipe.
What did she tell us? She said she was Virginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window.
Now you've done it! You've got so beyond ridiculous into ludicrous. So, Lamoureux was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice. That's the only logical explanation, yes. Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, her forehead! Okay, what about it isn't logical? That hardly merits saying. Why would Lamoureux be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat. No offense intended to her, of course. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lamoureux? Put it simply, for the best overall satisfaction, I recommend that you play the games in release and not chronological order. That is literally what we've been saying, you fucking numbnuts! We have been saying this! We said this multiple times! You've been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit, it had me quite confused since yesterday. Yet the small window was closed. But why should that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself be an interpreter. Might himself need an interpreter. Ugh! From here's words. Lamoureux, this small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on a wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling. What? Do the fucking Clarkson smile.
Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes. In fact, I was. I am sorry. I never imagined it would become such an important point.
Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? For the magic trick, of course.
I believe it is time for another testimony.
I am not sure I can't.
Portable ops, from what I've gathered, is, yeah, portable ops, we don't talk about portable ops. You can play it after playing all the other games, but it's just there.
May I remind you that this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of the room. Please.
Oh, looks like I'm back on the right track. Oh my god, how long is this case gonna go? Ah! How long are we going? Jesus. Above the ceiling.
Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter.
The NDA, right?
Bound to secrecy?
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
But you say you were in the middle of your performance. So did this happen during the second set?
I did not witness the crime. You must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That's what the cross-examination is for, yeah, forehead? Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination.
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
Find out the truth.
She's up above that ceiling for a reason! I just have to get it out of her.
Oh, why am I so sleepy? Ceiling, when I heard the voice, I heard there was a small window there before.
Girl was bound to secrecy? It's gotta take some hard-hitting proof to make her talk.
I think I know why she was up there, but how do I prove it? Boys.
But the ceiling, could you be more specific? I cannot.
Guess you're bound to secrecy?
Yes. To tell the truth, I was not supposed to even say I was above the ceiling. I dare not say more.
Doesn't sound like I'll be able to coax it out of her just by asking.
A small window. You mean the air vent? I only remembered I needed to be careful when I put where I put my hands and feet. I cannot see the light coming through the window, of course.
The air vent grate could trip you up, certainly.
I was walking very carefully when I heard the gunshots. Startled, I crouched and listened. That is when I heard his voice coming from the room.
Arian's voice.
I knew something terrible had happened yet. In the middle of my performance.
You got sleep at the moment we mentioned portable ops, not that surprising. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh!
Oh, that feels better.
So without a word, you just let the third set start? After the curtain closed for the second set, there was still much to do. You could have prevented this whole misunderstanding if you had only told us sooner! Yes, perhaps I could have.
I see little point in badgering the witness. What's done is done. The mind works differently from when one is in the middle of a performance. Why, I've lost my voice in the middle of a show and kept singing, completely unaware. Singing without a voice? Only all contradictions were so obvious. Only I could get Lamar to talk. Watching her like this, it's seemingly getting anywhere. Alright, we're gonna need evidence. Heard the gunshots during the second set, during your performance. Quite sure. Yes. Why would I lie about that time?
Why didn't you tell us this yesterday?
No one asked me. I thought you all knew. I told you Machi was not the killer. I told you this many times. Yes, you did, but you fucking stupid fucking bitch didn't tell us why. You never told us why. I am sorry. I was not able to speak of it. Not able or unwilling. Is that talking, Apollo? What do we do? We just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she's bound by the Pact of Silence, she won't talk. If we prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it. How are you gonna do that? She was singing at the stage, Apollo. You could have been up above the ceiling, too. Yes, she could. I've got a theory as to why, too. Maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. Right, video. Exactly who bound you to secrecy? I'm not sure I'm allowed to say who it was. No, I think perhaps that is all right. It's just a name after all. It was Valant Garamarai. Perhaps you know him? Valant Garamarai? What? You mean Uncle Valant?
What? Valant Garamarai? Who's Valant Garamarai?
A grand magician, the one responsible for the illusion performed during our concert. Interesting reaction, Prosecutor Gavin. Aurora is bound to secrecy. Alright, yeah, we obviously gotta present the video. I'm just not sure, where we present it, right? Come on, let's not ruin our perfect case! We haven't taken a single health loss yet. I was about the ceiling when I heard the voice. That's fine. And heard the small window for it. Fine. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I heard. Cool. So while I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this map. Okay, I'm thinking it's this one or this one. I'm gonna go with the second one, okay? So let's go for it. And let me just check that is the right one, right? Very bad lyric sheet, postcard, investigation request. Revolver, brooch. I've never understood why it's pronounced brooch, when the spelling is clearly brooch. Like, that should be an A for it to be brooch. Brooch. Fucking Brits. I hate them. Portable Ops is a Metal Gear game. Put on a portable console so you can imagine the quality. Plus, it's either not canon or semi-canon. Ah, fuck. The whole concept of not canon is fucking stupid. It's not a concept that is actually worthwhile in pretty much any meaning. Like people talk about anime filler being not canon. Why is something that happens in the manga any more canon than something that happens in the anime? As long as it doesn't contradict anything in the manga, it's fucking canon. Hell, sometimes anime and manga have different canons. Like, in Dragon Ball Super, there is no Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken in the manga. It doesn't exist. Instead, Goku gets perfected Super Saiyan Blue, not Kaioken. Not to mention, Goku can do Hakai in the manga, and he can't do that in the anime. So, the canons of the anime and the manga, they're inherently different things. Canon is just such a worthless distinction. It really is. From the victim's left hand holds a key to a guitar case and a motorcycle. Autopsy report, crime scene photo, diagram, video. That's the one. Headset, remote, form, Gav's guitar, replica, Virginia, news. Okay, yeah, it has to be the video, and I think it's this one. Yes! Perfect trial! Lemuror, truth be told, the reason for your presence above the ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it's all right here on this video. What I don't understand is why did the guitar light on fire right then? shouldn't the fire have not started until after the bullet had been fired, which should have been after Lammermoor was already, like, yeah, the murder is happening right now. So, if anything, he would have told Machi to, you know, light the fire right now. So then why was there a flash earlier? Was that like them priming it, maybe? I don't know. Oh, yeah, you can even see the trapdoor on the platform that she uses to get up there. Fucking Gavin in the background trying to put out his guitar. As you can see, Lammermoor was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. But it saddens me to be so realistic. Lammermoor is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation, so the only explanation is she was hidden from view. During that time, she moved to the back of the forum. Hello? What, Trucy? It's not nice to reveal magician secrets, and it's against the rules. But I'm a lawyer. I'm not supposed to be nice.
This is all very fascinating. How is it possible?
We've had another magic trick murder in this very courtroom before, Your Honor.
There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin?
This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed.
Aha!
He was just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here, we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage, through the backstage, to the rear of the forum. Recall Lammermoor's testimony from yesterday. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of the route above the ceiling!
Byrne knew of this because of her part in the illusion, but she wasn't the only one who knew.
What?
Oh, that's... What? Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something.
I know. If I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
He said that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin? I know about the Vanishing Act, of course. I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't the magician tell me? Magicians only reveal the details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know? Which is why he bound Lammermoor to secrecy. Well, Lammermoor, I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you.
So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that's that, but I'm still a little confused.
Why's that, Your Honor?
As I said before, there was very little time before when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20-second tops, especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
That's a good question, right, and I was wondering that.
Can't the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice.
Yes?
It's all up to you. Do your thing.
One thing, Your Honor.
You need to explain how Lammermoor was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
That's harsh. Why do I get picked on? It's Lammermoor who isn't going with the program here.
She's your witness, now suck it up.
I've stated before, I'm not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
and you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please.
Right. I feel like a student before the finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
Alright, let's go. Save stating the movie, the game, the motion picture experience. Which is funny considering I haven't had to use the save state, considering I haven't taken a single point of damage today.
I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There's an emergency exit in the backstage, where the stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side of the stage.
Firewall, would you happen to know how long we have, in this little section? Because I'm thinking of whether or not I should go get ice cream.
The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens.
Okay. I suppose it was too much to hope the judge would come up with something.
As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lammer is saying. We can see plainly in the video. I figured it out already. I am a magician after all. Well, tell me! Not a chance. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on. You're supposed to be on my side here. Whatever. That is my instruction. Two minutes. Well, that does explain the timing issue, though. It does. Was this like some kind of animatronic? No, but that doesn't make sense. Then what about the brooch? When did she lost her brooch in the air vent, obviously. Yeah, no, I have no clue. Like the only thing I could think of is either that's like an animatronic or you can play up until the recess happens. Yeah, but like how long is it until the recess? Like is it soon? Like is it like a couple of cross-examination? Like is it this after this cross-examination, or is it after like, or is like fucking Darien gonna show up all of a sudden and we're gonna have to cross-examine him? Yeah, so that could either be a body double or an animatronic of some kind while she was getting in position to reappear on the other side of the stage. I mean, I suppose that would explain it. Also makes sense because she's still on the platform with Gavin when the guitar ignites, which means she should have already been in the air vent by then, right?
Follow the right, exactly as I was instructed.
Okay, let's press.
How long did you proceed along this route? How? I walked. To ride behind the scene much too fast to have been walking. Tell the truth, Lanaror. You rode some kind of vehicle.
What? A vehicle? What vehicle?
What a novel idea. I like it.
Hey, that's not a bad guess. Wrong, but not bad.
Yes, laugh at the dumb attorney. I don't mind.
I'm sorry, but the girl is right. That vent was much too small for a vehicle. It was a tight fit. Even I had to crouch as I walked. I cannot imagine a vehicle would fit in such a small space.
Nah, you need the mobility device in the in Clarkson's limousine in the Top Gear limousine episode. The one where it's just a cart that you lay on and then you pull yourself along with a rope. That would fit, right?
Was it a vehicle? Then what was it?
You had me going for a while, Mr. Justice. Too bad. Ready for the next part?
I don't feel like I'm on some kind of quiz show.
Everyone on the concert staff know about the trick? Not all, only a few that were needed to help. See, like I said, it's a need-to-know basis. So, many people knew about the trick?
What were these stagehands? What were these stagehands required to do?
One didn't open the emergency exit. The door to the stairs is locked, but one's through there.
One hand to the form on the opposite side from the...
So when you came back out, you were behind the audience. Yes, that is how it worked.
Not a bad show, if I do say so myself.
That's Uncle Valiant for you, the old Garai touch!
But on the video, you were only gone for 20 seconds. How is that possible?
You have like 20 minutes until the recess? Okay, then I'll play through it.
It's the part I don't get either.
But it'll definitely be longer for me since I go through pretty slow.
Yes, it would be hard to go so far in only 20 seconds.
To move there in 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running.
Running in that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling?
Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. Ah, that's true, but...
So, you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway. Amaranth disappears on the video for 20 seconds. She says she made the trip in 2 minutes? How? You want my professional opinion? I'll bet the answer's right there in that video.
It is? Or is this the brooch? Is it the fact that it's a body double because the brooch is not? So I had interpreted the brooch as while she was traveling through, she drops her brooch through the air vent and there it ends up. But I suppose the other way you could interpret it is she had dropped her brooch earlier, but they never, changed the, they never, realized this and told the body double to take off her brooch to match actual Lammeror, which is why the body double here has a brooch, but when Lammeror emerges on the other side, she has none. So that explains the missing brooch. Although I had thought it was because she had dropped it along the way, but I suppose that does solve the issue just as well. Yep, that's the one.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some kind of evidence for us. Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony.
I couldn't explain the discrepancy. I don't want to present anything yet. I want to question the rest of the testimony.
kind of evidence could prove that? What's your professional opinion about this one, Trucy? Sorry, I don't work in evidence. And I don't work in tricks. I'm an attorney, not a magician, for crying out loud. Really? I'm sure Daddy would love working on this. Thanks, that makes me feel oh so much better. He did! Heard about Big Top.
Well, I don't know about all of you, but I found the mystery fascinating. And I'm not letting this trial go any further until we get to the bottom of it. The defense will continue the cross-examination until we have some answers.
Easier said than done. Oh, I want to hear the voice. It was Darian's voice you heard. Yes, I am certain it was him. A matter best left for later, yeah? Put that forehead of yours to work on this illusion first. Hold on, I think the identity of the killer is a little more important, don't you?
Importance, Schmortens. Objection overruled. Tell us about the illusion.
No use trying to avoid the problem at hand, Apollo. Trying to avoid the problem. This is a murder trial. The killer is the problem. Connection between Lammer's testimony and the video. Unraveling an illusion can't be so different from solving a normal case, right? Sorry, Apollo. I'm not telling you, even if you make those puppy dog faces.
Fine, fine! The question is, do we present the video or do we present the brooch? I'm thinking we present the brooch. So let's get through this. So yeah, these past couple of weeks I've actually been playing through the original Fallout game. The one that's, you know, it's a point-click isometric turn-based combat game. So it's not aged great. The story isn't great, and the side quests are pretty fucking bad, but it's still fun seeing the origin of the series. Fallout is definitely one of my favorite video game series of all time. I know. I've heard a lot of good things about Fallout 2, so I'm very excited for that one, because I know a lot of content got cut from Fallout 1, so... But yeah, no, there's probably, like, only 2 side missions in that entire game that I, like, legitimately liked. And I'm, like... I've only played for, like, 30 hours, and I've basically completed most of the side missions, and I just need to finish the final mission at the Cathedral of the Cathedral. Weird name. There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and the testimony. Lamaror, you happen to remember this brooch?
Aha! The brooch! We saw that yesterday, did we not?
It's part of the scene, Your Honor. And you're bringing this up now? Why? I thought we already determined when that was dropped. So do I, but I hadn't. Take another look at the video. Here, you can see she's wearing the brooch!
So she is.
Let's look up a little bit later. It took you a while, Apollo, but you got there.
What? The brooch! It's gone!
What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in a short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Lamaror we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lamaror we see after are 2 different people.
What?
What? So yeah, was her singing just pre-recorded? Was she just fucking lip-syncing the entire performance? My god, this entire fucking case has been filled with fakes! Machi is a fake non-English speaker and a fake blind. Lamaror is a fake seeing person and a fake only non-English speaker as well. Darian and Gavin are fake fucking poser ass rock and roll stars, and now Lamaror is a fake ass singer. They're all fakes. Incredible. The brooch was found at the crime scene, and not just on the floor. on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lemuror, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? At the very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I did.
There we have it, boys. Just like I predicted.
Order! Prosecutor Gavin?
From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Sir Judge. I, of course, knew about it.
What?
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time. So, I was right. There was a switch? There was. Just before the stage tower rose, Lemuror was replaced.
While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lemuror?
Why, the man behind the illusion, Valiant Gamurai. Wait, Giga Chad! How did he hide his mustache? How do you hide a mustache, though? This is Valiant? The mustache is... He just takes it off! No, he can't lie to me! No, I don't know, Valiant looking kind of hot! Also, I want to check the eye color. Like silverish, right? Which matches with Lemuror. Yeah, no, his eyes are brown, so he must have been wearing contacts, I guess. Gamurai? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing. Yes? The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you were on stage, right? This, Big Lemuror is still singing. She's pretty good.
That's true!
Come on, Apollo, that's an easy one. They're just playing a recording. Gaviner's are in some kind of air guitar band from Olaya. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? When we play a show live, we play live. No recordings. Perhaps you could explain, Lemuror? Very well. This is some bull. This is cap. This is such fucking cap.
Yes, do tell, and add it to your testimony.
I had to keep singing, even while I moved. That is so cap! That is, as someone who has worked with professional sound equipment, let me tell you, inside a fucking air vent is that sound signal would not reach the fucking stage. Hell no! Do you know how distorted? Hell, we would get sound issues when we were just on stage singing. If someone just had their fucking phone out nearby. That's how bad fucking professional sound equipment is. In a fucking air vent? You're fucking shitting me! No way you're getting a clear signal! It's almost a fucking Faraday cage! Jesus Christ! Yeah, no, those physics, the lie detector determined that was a lie. Dude, she's already dead. I'm not letting them get away with this! You were singing? Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings, so I used this. So you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling towards the backstage? Why should it matter where I sing? And everywhere I go is the same darkness. Because of radio waves and metal interfering with them.
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right, wouldn't the shooter and the victim have heard? They would have heard it anyways because of the speaker.
just singing right over their heads after all. He's right.
Are you sure? It'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime.
What state? I know what he means. The old speaker, Apollo. The speaker? The speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. Ah, that's for monitoring the stage from this room. Monitoring? It pipes the real-time feed from the stage microphones. Useful for knowing when your set is coming up.
Satisfied? This room was fitted with a large speaker playing the direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually.
Lemur singing in the ceiling. It sounded just like Lemur singing over the speaker.
Ingenious! Her voice was hidden by her voice.
Roar? I have just remembered something.
Do tell.
When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes, it startled me, so I stopped singing.
Ed? Let's check out those lyrics. See what, because she can't just start singing. If she misses a lyric, she has to keep going. She can't go back and sing. Does she only say a single pleasure in the video when she says two in the fucking? How did I not spot that? I should have checked those fucking lyrics of the video before. Oh, that's so obvious. That's so fucking obvious. Stole the keys. Heart held on so tight. Oh, that's such a rookie mistake. God damn it. Ah. God damn it. Pleasure? But, yeah, she missed one of her pleasures. This is when the murder happened. Right as the stage was rising. Murder happens, she says pleasure. But a fleeting melody. And then do it.
Hit the trigger. Pull the lever.
Fire.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing. The song stopped? Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice.
Oh, I had that mixing board I lent you. Where is it?
Mixing? Machine, Apollo, the one that breaks music into tracks.
Oh, this. I'd completely forgotten about it. Take a listen. Well, no, we already know where it happened. This guy's ready to commit some crimes. The song does stop there.
It does? I must have missed it.
Look at the lyric sheet. At the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. I'm close? Okay, great. Then we'll end it there. Because it's been almost 4 hours, and how long is the trial ladder? Could you figure that out for me? Because I'll decide if I end it at recess or if I go get an ice cream.
This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake.
Mine didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lemur's ballad.
If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have beaten the shooter.
Which means Darian Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Prosecutor Gavin. Also, more importantly, Machi Tabaye was meaning instant acquittal. Bing bada boom. We got it. Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. Do you mean turned about? Yet one problem remains.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
Therefore, its theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Recommend saving it for the next stream? Alright, I will. And it is entirely based upon Lamoureux's testimony.
Yes? Is there a problem with this?
Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she's lying to protect the defendant? You have no proof? All I'm saying is that the truth is yet unclear. No, it's pretty clear because Gavin, okay, can you shut up for a second because I'm clearly smarter than you, so let me just help you understand. If Lamoureux didn't hear Darian say, hit the switch, how would she know that he said hit the switch? The only person here who knew that the switch controlled the igniter on the guitar and that it was activated during the performance was me. No one, well, me, Machi, and Darian. No one else, Lamoureux, could not have known that at that moment the switch was activated. Which means the only way she could have testified to Darian saying, press the switch, would be if she had heard it. Because otherwise she wouldn't even know a switch exists. I expected better from you, Clavier. Until we hear directly from the man himself.
The man? You don't mean...
Yes. Though he has a friend and a band member, Darian Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way.
As someone with a new perspective on the case.
As a suspect, to be frank. Finally, Rat's coming out of his hole. I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescent, get ready for justice!
This is as good a time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness and have him here and ready by the time we begin.
I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.
Very well. Court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess.
All right. To be continued. Whatever. Yeah, so the case is pretty much solved now. I basically know exactly how it happened. I suppose the only thing that I haven't figured out is how he made the sound of the gunshots later on to drag me and Maya into the room at the time he wanted. Although he could have just played that from the speaker. We just need to find how he actually triggered that, you know? Nevertheless, yeah, it's basically confirmed to be Darian at this point, and now we just have to prove it. And I think the biggest thing in the second part is gonna be figuring out how that the mechanism of how he made the sound work. Other than that, also, yeah, are we not gonna talk about Machi just straight up being an accomplice to murder? Because that's kind of important. But I don't know if Machi had to have known that the murder was gonna take place. I mean, that is literally the only reason to burn the guitar is to right? Is to offset the order of events for everything, right? So I don't know. Yeah, that does it for today. We'll be back tomorrow at 3, the usual time, for some Persona 4 Golden, which we've made it to the final dungeon. Finally, we've finally cleared the worst dungeon in the game, which is Hollow Forest. Final dungeon should be a walk in the park now. Izanami, we're gonna kick her ass. And then Monday, I'm gonna be uploading the reaction to Testament's theme that we did on stream a couple of weeks ago. I finally, I finished editing it, and that's gonna be going up on Monday, so don't forget to check that out. If you're new here, you can subscribe, and if you're, regardless of how long you've been here, there's a Discord down in the description where you can chat, post memes, and we notify there every time we're live. It's more reliable than YouTube. Or you can hit the bell, like, bell, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for being here, Firewall. I should be in the end.